All right, hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to talk to you today about a book called The Life and Legend of Chris Kyle. See you guys right here. By Michael J. Mooney. Michael J. Mooney's a journalist that wrote the book. And it's a very short book. It's just a little bit over 100 pages. And I know everybody's got their own busy lives, and if you don't have time to read the book American Sniper, which is about 4 times as long as the book that I just showed you, read this book. Let me show it to you guys again. The Life and Legend of Chris Kyle. Okay. Now, there were some concerns. Some people pray that Chris Kyle knew Jesus before he passed away. Unfortunately, before a deranged person, Eddie Ray Ralph, the guy who killed him, deranged Eddie Ray Ralph, and I would say evil, in my opinion, killed him. Well, pages 94 and 95 of the book talk about how Chris Kyle was a strong Christian, that on the 4th of July weekend, he met with Pastor Ed Young and his church was in Grapevine, Texas, the main church. And he talked about how his duty to God was the only thing that came before the United States of America and also his family. And he knew himself as a strong Christian. He said he did not care to go to church as a kid, but, as he got older, that changed. And Pastor Ed Young hadn't read the book American Sniper yet before he interviewed him. I'm not sure if he ever read the book. That book doesn't say. But he didn't want American Sniper to be the main focus of that interview. And Chris Kyle told him, he said, "I'm glad you didn't read that book either." So they didn't want the book American Sniper to change the focus away from the center of the conversation, which was mainly about God. Okay. And then, the memorial service for Chris Kyle, this is where the book starts out. Okay, the memorial service happened on February 11th, 2013. And some of these veterans were in wheelchairs. Older veterans from World War II. And there were also veterans from the Korean War, Vietnam War, the first Persian Gulf War back in 1990 and 1991. They came to pay their respects to Chris Kyle. The reason Chris Kyle is a legend in the United States is because people needed somebody they could look up to, somebody who was confident but humble. I'm going to press something on my cell phone to clear up the picture right there. On my view, your view, it shouldn't affect it. Okay. And they needed a hero who was confident but also modest. And Chris Kyle was one of those people. Okay? Chris Kyle always gave credit to his teammates. Whenever he was in tough situations in battle, he gave a lot of credit to his teammates. The book touches on that as well. And we really need to pay attention to that. Chris Kyle really downplayed a lot of his success. Okay? The book goes on to talk about some of Chris Kyle's success. It talks about how Chris Kyle at least had 160 confirmed kills. That's what the Pentagon says. But some of his teammates think the number could be twice as high, that it could be at least 320, or definitely well over 300, some of his teammates think. But the Pentagon records say 160 confirmed kills. He was awarded 2 Silver Stars as well as 5 Bronze Stars. Okay, he served 4 tours of duty in Iraq. Okay. And Chris Kyle did not enjoy killing people. He enjoyed protecting people, protecting America, protecting its allies, and also protecting civilians. The reason I'm touching on this and this specific book is because this really goes into Chris Kyle's faith. I personally think better, I'm not going to say better, but more so than American Sniper did. My personal opinion, my humble opinion on that. But Chris Kyle does talk about in his autobiography, American Sniper, that he was a strong Christian. I just personally think this book goes into more detail than that. But that's my humble opinion. The book American Sniper is a great book and a great movie, and I highly encourage people to read and see it. But I like how this book really touches on the humanitarian side of Chris Kyle. American Sniper does a good job of that as well. Does a really good job of that, so, as well as the movie. But I think this book goes a little bit deeper, plus the book's a lot shorter. So anyway, hope everybody's doing well. Take care, and God bless, and bye-bye. Bye-bye.